Welcome to your ultimate daily dose of hoops action. We are diving straight into the fire with the Boston Celtics and their intense recent showdown against the Philadelphia 76ers on April 30th, 2026. The atmosphere was electric, and the implications for the postseason race were massive as these two Eastern Conference giants battled it out on the hardwood.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Before that clash, we have to look back at the high-stakes meeting between the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers that took place on April 24th, 2026. That specific game set the tone for everything we have seen since and kept fans on the edge of their seats throughout the entire final quarter. Shifting gears to the offseason, the Detroit Pistons have a major decision to make regarding free agent Anfernee Simons. General manager Trajan Langdon is eyeing this playmaker as a potential missing piece. Though his fit alongside Cade Cunningham and Jaylen, Duren remains a hot topic of debate among the fanbase who are weighing his defensive upside against the team's current identity, built by coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Finally, we are breaking down the internal Celtics blog predictions for the 2026 playoffs, where the spotlight is firmly on who is feeling the most heat. From the MVP-level expectations on Jaylen Brown to the pressure facing Nikola Vucevic and Derek White, we are analyzing if this team is truly playing with house money or if the championship burden is starting to weigh them down. If you want to stay ahead of every story in the NBA, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Think you know how a playoff series ends? Think again. April 30th, 2026 became an instant classic as the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers locked horns in a clash that reminded us exactly why the NBA playoffs are the ultimate theater of sport. From the opening tip-off, the intensity was palpable, a suffocating defensive battle where every possession felt like a high-stakes chess match. Both teams traded blows, with momentum swinging like a pendulum, proving that in this rivalry, records and regular season dominance mean absolutely nothing once you step onto that hardwood. It wasn't just a game. It was a testament to the grit, strategy, and pure talent that define basketball at its highest level. We saw star power ignite, role players step into the spotlight, and coaching decisions that left us all questioning the logic until the final whistle blew. If this is the standard for the 2026 postseason, we are in for a historical ride. So, what was the turning point for you in tonight's showdown? Drop a comment below and let us know your take on the clutch plays that define this thriller. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our deep dive into the highlights. After all, the road to the championship is rarely a straight line. It is paved with nights exactly like this. Ever wondered what happens when two titans of the Eastern Conference collide under the brightest lights? April 24th, 2026 gave us the answer. And let me tell you, this Boston Celtics versus Philadelphia 76ers showdown was exactly the high-octane drama we were all craving. Tipped off at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, the atmosphere was electric from the very first possession. It wasn't just another game on the calendar. This was a tactical chess match played at breakneck speed. Seeing these two rosters go head-to-head is always a masterclass in modern basketball. You have the Celtics' relentless defensive schemes clashing with the sheer offensive gravity of the Sixers. Every bucket felt earned, every defensive stop felt like a momentum shift, and you could feel the intensity ramping up with every passing minute. Watching the game unfold, you couldn't help but appreciate the stakes. In a league as competitive as the NBA, games like this serve as a litmus test for playoff readiness. If you missed the live action, do yourself a favor and dive into the highlights. This is the kind of basketball that defines eras. But here is the real question for you. Do you think this performance actually dictates the pecking order for the postseason, or were we just seeing a glimpse of what these teams are capable of when they hit their peak? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to see your takes on who really holds the upper hand. And hey, if you loved this breakdown, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive. After all, the road to the championship is rarely a straight line. And the best stories are written on nights just like this. What if I told you the Detroit Pistons are sitting on a secret weapon that could change everything this offseason, even if the fan base isn't ready to hear it? We all know the Pistons are hunting for an answer to their backcourt woes. And while he might not be the flashiest name on the free agent market, Anfernee Simons is exactly the kind of move that turns a good team into a legitimate contender. Now, let's be honest. Simons isn't the perfect, shiny prospect some fans are dreaming of, especially with JB Bickerstaff building a team identity centered on grit and defense. But let's look at the reality. The Pistons have a gaping hole behind Cade Cunningham. We have seen flashes from players like Dennis Jenkins, but are they enough to lead a deep playoff run? Probably not. The team is desperate for another reliable scorer and a playmaker who can actually space the floor, and that is where Simons comes in. He is coming off a season where he shot a respectable 38.5% from deep, providing that perimeter stability Detroit has been craving. Now, the elephant in the room is his defense. We all know it has been a weak point, but here is the twist. His brief time with the Celtics showed us that when he is in a system that demands effort, he can be a serviceable defender. It seems his defensive struggles in Portland were more about environment than ability. If Trajan Langdon can grab him on a value deal, it's a total no-brainer. You take the offensive ceiling, you tighten up the defensive culture, and suddenly you have a much more dangerous rotation. What do you think? Is Simons the missing piece, or is this a risk you just wouldn't take? Drop a comment below with your thoughts, hit that like button if you want to see more Pistons deep dives, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next breakdown. At the end of the day, championships aren't won by playing it safe. They're won by making the smart, calculated moves that everyone else is too afraid to commit to. Usually, when the playoffs arrive, you can feel the heat radiating off certain players. The pressure is palpable. If things go sideways, you know exactly who's taking the fall. But this year's Boston Celtics, they are built differently. We are talking about a squad that has already reached the mountaintop, paired with a young core that seems blissfully unaware they aren't supposed to be this dominant. It's a classic house money situation. But even when you're playing with house money, the spotlight eventually finds someone. So, we asked the channel YouTube staff, who is actually under the microscope this postseason? For some, the answer is a resounding nobody. Jeff Clark and Rich Jensen argue that the pressure is largely artificial. When you have a veteran crew that's been through the trenches and a coach like Joe Mazzulla running a tight ship, the external noise just doesn't stick. But look closer, and the narratives start to emerge. For Ian Inangelo and Grant Burfeind, all eyes are on Jaylen Brown. He's played at an MVP level all season, but in the playoffs, the bar gets raised. If those old, shaky habits like forced drives or isolation stalls creep back in, the critics will be the first to pounce. It's the classic challenge of proving that this new, elite baseline is here to stay. Then you have the role player dilemma. Mike Dinon points to Sam Hauser, whose three-point percentage is a massive indicator of team success. When Hauser is in house fire mode, the Celtics are nearly unbeatable, but a cold streak from him makes the path much tougher. Meanwhile, Ryan Pace and Mark Aboyon are keeping a close watch on Derek White and Nikola Vucevic. For White, it's about spacing. If defenses dare him to shoot, he has to make them pay. For Vucevic, it's about justifying the trade and proving he can handle the high-leverage defensive schemes that define a title run. Finally, there's the front court. Gio Rivera brings up a great point. Nemias Quetta is no longer a depth piece. He's a key rotation player stepping into a role that demands consistency. If the bigs don't hold the fort, even the best backcourt in the league will struggle. It's a fascinating mix of established stars and critical role players, all under different shades of pressure. Whether they feel it or not, the world is watching to see if they can hunt down Banner 19. Do you think the house money mindset is enough to carry them to another ring, or is the pressure about to mount? Drop a comment below with your pick for the player who has the most to prove this month. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Celtics coverage.